Welcome inside our San Francisco studios. It's Football Weekly, the digital edition. Rick Neuheisel, Jake Plummer, Mike Am with you. Good to have you in the saddle. I know
always good to be in this saddle.
It is fantastic.
The burly one.
I was just going to say, how many times can you get grimy when we're talking about these quarterbacks and Cephalufau and Cody Kessler?
It's easier for me to think grimy. Just got to look at the TV screen here and catch my grimy self.
It'll be. Well, you're all about the use of the word grimy. By the way, I've made reference to SC in Colorado. The pregame starts right here on the Pac-12 networks, starting at 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock. You had said this last week on the pregame show with regard to SC and Buck Allen and the importance of him in this offense. How in the world can Colorado keep a guy like that in check?
I had said last week on the pregame show that he is not only the MVP of their offense, he's the MVP of their defense, because what he does is not only churn out yardage, but he churns out clock. And if Steve Sarkisian remains really diligent, which he was a genius at this last weekend against Arizona in holding the ball for 19 of the 30 minutes in the second half. If he continues to do that, this is the way, the formula for USC to go on a championship run. They do not have enough players. Despite how talented they are, Jake, they do not have enough players on defense to make it through the fourth quarter of these games against these high-powered offenses if they don't do it that way. So Buck Allen is a must-stop if you're Colorado.
Definitely. Big game Buck is what I like to call him. That guy is impressive as a runner. He's elusive. He's explosive. What he did in the secondary last week was very impressive, making safeties miss. But what USC has to guard against is playing down to the level of their opponent. And CU obviously is trying to get there. USC, they're the mighty Trojans. They're in the Coliseum. Don't even give them a chance. The leaders on this team, they have to step up. They have to set the tone in practice this week. And when CU steps in that stadium, they need to slam the door on them right away and say, no, you're not at our level. But if they think it's going to be easy, if they think, oh, we got CU, we can take a break, that's when there's a crack in that foundation and problems can happen.
The other thing to be concerned about if you're a USC fan is how many corners are going to make it to the game. Yeah. They've got 3 on scholarship right now that are capable of playing, and 2 of those were out when they got to the final drive against Arizona the other night. So who's healthy? Who can go out there and cover guys like Nelson Spruce, Bryce Bobo? That's a huge, huge question mark right now for USC, and it's important if they're going to keep those guys out of the end zone and not make this a shootout.
Jake just made reference to the fact close the door early on Colorado. Teams haven't been able to do that with this Buffs team. They've been able to hang around.
A year ago, Colorado got beat in conference games by an average of 29 points. You and I were there for training camp. We made the argument if they got a touchdown better on both sides of the ball, they'd get it to 2 touchdowns. Well, that's why they're still 0-3. But they are closing the door. They're actually within a touchdown right now of the opponents. And if you get in a game where somebody makes the wrong turnover at the wrong time, Colorado's going to be right there. They are chomping at the bit, trying to get a signature win just like this one.
I think we're all looking forward to seeing SC and Colorado on the football field Saturday, 3 p.m. Pacific on the Pac-12 networks. Don't miss the pregame show starting at 2. For Rick and Jake, I'm Mike. Thanks so much for watching Football Weekly, the digital edition.